Right now, what a Monday. The excitement in the air for this eclipse remind me of Christmas, which is only 126 days away. Just thought I would throw that in there. Come on, y'all, let's talk about this eclipse. Welcome to the chat. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the chat. I am Henny Angelia. We have Dr. Kelly Wells, and we have Bonnie Upright on the panel today. Thank you, ladies, for being here. Everyone, y'all ain't gonna say
hey.
Oh, okay, that's better. Don't treat me like that. Okay, so of course, everyone is just going complete crazy today because of this eclipse. So we just saw it, and personally, I am so underwhelmed, like really? But anyway, schools were giving out excused absences. People were lining up to get the glasses you needed to watch it. The memes are flooding social media. So ladies, I'm gonna throw it out there to you. It's kind of fresh. Angelia, you look so cute.
I can't.
What did you?
I can't stop. I can't stop. I want to keep the eclipse momentum going.
Well,
I'm so excited.
Good luck with that. So what are your thoughts, Bonnie? I'll toss it to you first.
You know, it was cloudy. It is what it is. It wasn't what we thought it was going to be. Thought it was going to be a fantastic show. But you know what? Watching it on TV earlier today before I came to the station, I will say, I got a little emotional watching it.
Did you?
I did.
Really? Why?
It's a little weird, right? I don't know.
Are you a geek?
Going through menopause? I don't know.
I am too,
mean,
but
whatever
I wasn't emotional over that stuff.
No, but I liked what you said earlier, Bonnie, because you said that it was bringing everybody together. As you were driving in, you saw so many people, everyone getting together and trading glasses and sharing, and I think that was the big part of it. I think that was like what we wanted, was everybody to come together. I thought that was the cool part.
Okay.
Except Henny, she didn't want to come together.
I was really expecting something like really big, like you know what we saw on television earlier, and people were clapping and screaming, and ooh, I was hoping for that. And when I stepped outside, I was like, where is it? Like what? I guess be thankful, maybe. I don't know.
Well, we had a few things working against us. You know, the clouds.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a clear view, and all we were ever going to see was a partial, right? So we were never going to see what that beautiful picture we saw from South Carolina earlier.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I think I understand that. I'm a little relieved because I was so concerned from a safety perspective because I felt like folks weren't really paying attention to the risk that goes along with looking directly at an eclipse.
I feel really bad for those people that paid so much money for a pair of these glasses that we gave out for free. I mean, social media was like, people were like, does anybody have a pair of glasses I can buy? This weekend, I was in the parking lot of Home Goods over on Southside Boulevard. There were people in the parking lot selling these like hot cakes. I mean, just, so get your glasses. And they were flocking to them, paying 20 bucks a pair. Yeah. And that's it. It's over just like that. But, oh well.
Yeah, but there's one to look forward to. It's
we
coming
got some
up.
eclipse food here, though.
There's one that's coming up, and that's only a few years away. It's 7 years away. So those people who want to prepare and want to actually have a lot of fun, a lot of people did that this year. They all made this a huge family event. They made trips out of this. So you can do that next time, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. It's coming up. It's April 8th, and it's 2024.
I'll be sure to keep in
7
touch
years,
with you.
You can go ahead
and I want to see what you're going to have
now.
going on back then, girl.
You never know.
I'm going to pre-order about 2 million pair of these glasses.
You're right.
And make myself some money.
Now.
This is what I'm saying.
I want in on that.
Okay. Go ahead.
I think that's a good idea. All right, well, now moving on to not so happy news. The weekend, there was actually a lot of tragedy for police officers nationwide. A total of 6 officers were shot in 3 separate incidents over the weekend. 2 Jacksonville officers shot Friday night are in stable condition after they were attacked at a home on the west side and in Kissimmee, Florida. And then officers Sam Howard and Matthew Baxter were shot and killed. 2 state troopers in Pennsylvania were also shot in separate incidents over the weekend, but they actually survived. So, ladies, I know everybody was kind of glued to the TV this weekend for that reason and eclipse reasons, but seeing all of the tragedy this weekend, there were so many officers down, and I think it was a real tragedy. What were your thoughts over the weekend?
Very, very difficult. These things, you know, it seems to happen with such frequency that it becomes discouraging. As a parent, trying to explain that to children is just, it's such a challenge.
I was not in town. I was gone all week, and then I came back, and then I left the same day to go somewhere else. But anyway, I had to really catch up on this on social media. And when I did, I was thinking this can't be true. Like, in real life this happened, and then I started doing my research, and this just goes to show why it is so important for us to respect authority to respect our police officers. And could you imagine what their families were going through watching that, especially the one that happened in Kissimmee? I mean, all of them are horrible, of course, but I mean, it's just one of those things that sometimes we take for granted of what a police officer is here for. Some people may think that they're only here to catch the bad guys or to shoot people. That may be true to an extent because there are some bad ones out there. We're not going to sugarcoat that. But at the same time, there are some really good and some really great police officers as well. And this just goes to show you what they're up against. They're one of these incidents, they actually were going to do a suicide attempt. And look at what happened. I mean, it's just really, really sad. It's very heartbreaking. And of course, my prayers goes out to all the families of these officers and their families for having to deal with this.
Do any of you watch that show, Live PD? Has anybody seen that yet?
Bits and pieces.
No. You should. I mean, you should really tune into that because it's an interesting show just to see from a police officer's perspective. They're former police officers, and they're actually talking about different, and some are current, they're talking about different incidences as they happen, and it's live in the field. So you go through the motions with these officers, and you see everything that they go through on a daily basis just for any call that's out there. But you talked about the suicide prevention call that they went on. The one in Kissimmee was a serious one because, I mean, they went out, and that was, I mean, had they been able to look into this guy's social media, they could see that there was social media, he was actually screaming for help. He was, I guess, maybe turned into a radicalist, I guess, of some sorts. And so he was going after the police officers, and he kind of said that on social media. He had quoted something that someone else had said, and he said, shoot him. And so then that's kind of what happened, and it went into a race relations issue for him. But it was really sad because had the police officers been able to know that in advance, then they would know what they were walking into. But that goes to show you police officers deal with this on a daily basis, all day long, all night long. And this call was at 9:30 p.m. It's not something that was happening at 2:30 in the afternoon. It was just a bad crime area that they were trying to actually zone in on to make it a better community. And that was just unfortunate. So, I mean, it was really, really tough weekend to watch police officers go down and especially to lose them. That was tough for me.
Absolutely. You never want to be desensitized to it. I think, like you said, you know, social media, watching it on social media, I almost got confused. Wait a minute. I thought this was, wait, I thought it happened in Kissimmee. Oh my God. It happened in multiple cities, and because they all were in that relatively short time. But I never want to be desensitized to that, and just explaining it to my children, because they see it. It's just sad and unnecessary. It's just so unnecessary.
I don't like to make nationwide news as Jacksonville, and it's, you know, something to do with something negative. I don't like that when they talk about the West Side. That's our home. That's our backyard. That's something we don't want to have seen on national news.
We don't want to make national news for that type of reason.
Negative way.
You know, and I'm going to throw this out there as well. I think that these police officers are completely underpaid for what they're put up against. I think that they should be just like teachers. They are completely underpaid as well. I think that there should be a review. I mean, these people put their lives on the line every day, and we see what can ultimately happen. But anyway, shout out to Sheriff Mike Williams and his staff there. Keep your head up, be strong. We're with you as a city, we are with you. So we're unfortunately now going to move on to more tragedy over the weekend as Hollywood lost 2 comedic stars. Comedian Jerry Lewis died at the age of 91. Now, he rose to stardom during the golden age of television, and he was considered to be one of the most influential comics of the 20th century. But he was also a humanitarian, helping raise millions of dollars for Jerry's kids, which were children with muscular dystrophy. Also, comedian Dick Gregory, who introduced humor to civil rights to reach the masses, he actually died on Saturday. Also, he was a champion for equality, often risking his own career, health, freedom, and at times his life in order to fight for injustice and oppression. He was a prominent figure during the civil rights movement who, despite his own fame, would cancel shows and risk millions of dollars to join marches, sit-ins, and other peaceful demonstrations across the country with other leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Whitney M. Young Jr., and Reverend Jesse Jackson Jr. Mr. Gregory was 84 years old.
That was young.
Yeah.
84 young.
That one hurt. I mean, both of them hurt. But personally, losing Dick Gregory hurt really, really bad. It really did. Mr. Gregory stood for so much, and the fact that he just kind of gave of himself so freely, he risked it all for the happiness of others and to fight for what was right, that says a lot about a person. It really does. And the outpour of love from people of all walks of life when this happened just gives you goosebumps to show you that there really are still good people in this world. Sprinkled here and there really are some good people in the world, but Mr. Gregory definitely will be missed. He paved the way for so many comedians, not just African-American comedians, but mostly. But, you know, the fact that he tried to make a joke and tried to make light of bad situations, and, you know, it's just sad. It's just really sad.
Well, and I think with Dick Gregory, I think probably this generation may not realize,
no clue.
they don't understand how important. Jerry Lewis had, because I think because of the telethon that a lot of folks grew up with, and that was their vision. They may not have even realized what he did in the 50s and 60s in terms of his musical career and his movie career. But what you said about Dick Gregory, phenomenal person.
Yes.
And I mean, he marched in Selma. He marched with Martin Luther King in Selma. Incredible.
Yeah.
You know, he just wasn't the sidekick on, you know, Sanford and Son. He, you know, he truly was an incredible man, and I think it's a huge loss. And like you said, to see that the homages coming in via social media from folks from all walks of life paying tribute to him.
And he was known also for the infamous the Juice Fast. I don't know if you guys remember that from way back in the day, back in the 60s and 70s. He was the one that got that started. And he also was the one that created the Bohemian diet. And there were sometimes he would go days, up to 30 days without eating any real food.
What's the Bohemian diet?
Oh my gosh, no.
Is it?
I don't know. But it's something that he
Google.
Yeah, Google that. But it's something that he did that worked for him. And actually, when he was diagnosed with cancer back in the day, he refused to receive chemo. And he just did the Bohemian diet, the fasting. He did it the all-natural way.
Were these on it? Moon pies? Were moon pies on his diet?
Okay, such a serious moment and we bring moon pies into it. But no, I'm sure those moon pies were not on it. But cancer went into remission after he did it his own way. He just refused the treatment, and he was the one that also was trying to educate African Americans about the foods that we put in our bodies, what it does to us, and that's the reason why he went over to the juicing and the fasting and the Bohemian diet thingy. So yeah, Mr. Gregory, he's going to be missed for sure. He left a footprint. Alrighty, we're going to leave that there. So coming up next, actress and singer Raven Simone. She reveals her personal details about her life as a child star. We're going to hear why she says mental health issues could have been avoided. Stay with us. We'll be right back.